Meet Wilson Jones. He and his brother are sixth-generation lumbermen, owners of Mackey's Ferry Sawmill in North Carolina, and they both voted for Donald Trump all three times. And because of the Trump tariffs, they had to shut down their family business of almost 40 years and lay off 50 workers. Now, whenever stories like this come out, there's only one question I wish reporters would ask. Knowing what you know now, would you still vote for Donald Trump again? And this time they did. Watch.
Do you have any regrets about voting for him?
There are some things I regret about voting for President Trump. Yes, 100%. Trade policy is one of them, even though that I wish he could have moderated his tone. Well, I understand you have to do one thing to get elected and then something else, but I wish it hadn't turned out that way.
No, you don't have to do one thing to get elected and do another thing once you're in office. Actually, that's the complete opposite. And that is why so many people have said promises made and promises not kept, because that was his slogan during his entire rallies, during the campaign. And now that a lot of people are seeing that a lot of these promises aren't being kept, now they're flipping. I don't know if he's necessarily flipping. We're going to let the context build, but this is insane, guys. And we're seeing it happen across the board.
That being said, given the two people running, regardless of what they said on the campaign trail, I would have voted for President Trump again.
I don't necessarily have regrets. I mean, it came out that that's what he was going to fight for. And knowingly, that would affect us probably, because the only place to really ship a volume of lumber was either Vietnam or...
I cannot make this up whatsoever. If you guys didn't hear what he said, regardless of what the other candidate was saying, he still would have voted for President Trump, guys. I cannot make this up whatsoever, guys. And this is straight out of their mouths. It's crazy, y'all. And I can't, seriously. It's so frustrating, and this is what I mean by when I say that. People don't vote on policy. People don't vote on, what the person is talking about, what they are saying. They don't vote on that. They don't care about any of that. It's identity. It's identity politics. That's all it is. People were not ready, and I've been telling so many people this. We've been saying this for a long time. The reason why Kamala lost is because a lot of people were not ready to have a president of the opposite sex, let alone because she was black. But aside from that, that was the main reason why. So it wasn't the policies that she was talking about. As a matter of fact, she talked about her policies were so conservative to the point to where Trump looked like the extreme when you talk about throwing tariffs and all these insane immigration policies. Her policies, when you really sit down and look at each individual one, we're so just, hey, we're going to cruise and we're going to keep the ship afloat while also trying to lower prices in the meantime. That's all she was talking about. It wasn't about policy. It was about identity.
Or China. And, so it's going to affect us. But I don't, outside of not voting, I don't think I had a choice to vote any other direction.
And this is why I roll my eyes when people say that Kamala Harris didn't connect with the working class, because the working class is literally out here saying that they would vote for Trump again after losing everything because of him. At some point, folks need to accept that the issue wasn't Kamala's message. The issue is who certain people are willing to hear it from. And that's a conversation a lot of people aren't ready to have.
Absolutely. And shout out to the great. His name is Jose Can You See or something like that. Yeah, I think I said that right. I'm going to link his video in the description below, man. That was amazing. This is what I mean by when I say they don't vote on policy. This is what I mean when I say that these policies are destroying so many people. This is what I mean when I say guys like this are coming out here and are willing to contradict everything that goes on into their lives just to support these policies.
They go to jail.
What's your argument?
They go to jail.
Okay, so what about...
My parents are legal citizens.
Now they are.
Okay.
But before they weren't.
Okay, and when they weren't, they should have been deported.
So what does that leave you?
In El Salvador, where I belong? Because I'm Salvadorian, I'm 100% Salvadorian.
Let's go back.
That's fine.
Okay, go.
I don't have any worries, but I'm an American citizen, so I can stay right here and come to school every single day like I do.
Okay,
and all you can do is be upset about it.
This is exactly how President Trump won the past election. You had a lot of college students out here, kind of similar to this, where, they didn't really understand, or maybe, I don't know. And, so many people within this whole frame, which Turning Point USA came out and won a lot of those votes, right? But so many people like this are in college. They don't understand a lot of the policies and how it truly affects them, right? Because I'm going to lay it out, and not saying that that's specifically him, but when you're in college, when you sit back and you are experiencing a lot of the things that you are in college, you're going to class, you are, having fun with your friends and all these different things. You don't really have a true concept of, real life, like life outside of school. And not saying I'm talking about him specifically, because he could be maybe in grad school, or maybe he's got his own life set up, whatever the case is. But in the general sense, you don't have your life set up. Yeah, you can vote, you can go out here and make your decisions, but you don't understand how a lot of these policies truly affect you and your life. Because when you're in that mindset, you think about where you want to be. You want to be a millionaire. You want to be a billionaire. You want to have all these nice things, upper class and all these different things. But you don't understand how these things affect you. So when you have people like this who go out and vote for those policies, yeah, they're not going to be affected by these different things until they get into the real world, until they understand a lot of these things are real life. And this is how Trump won. He went after these different things. Turning Point USA went out and bought a lot of these votes, let alone the hypocrisy of him and his family, right? When we talk about his family being immigrants into the country, I think he's naturalized citizen, right? I think he was born here, which in essence makes him a legal citizen, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you have the right to go to college, like you said. You have the right to live your everyday life. But why is it contradicting everything else that you spoke about within, this whole video? Like, it contradicted everything. And this is where I get so confused when I see, migrants and immigrants come in here and support these policies. Like, this is why I struggle. I personally don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you're a citizen, you're within the Constitution, and by all means, you have the right to be here. It's in the Constitution. However, on the flip side, the man with the hat that you have on right now in this video, just earlier in the year, right when he got into office, was trying to get rid of this piece within the Constitution, becoming a naturalized citizen within the Constitution. He was talking about it. It was all over. He was trying to, but it's within the Constitution. You can't change it. That, along with the coming to president for the third term or whatever case, like, this is real life. And this is the frustrating part that I always talk about.
I didn't vote. I don't vote, but I did want him to win because I thought he was going to do the right thing for
You
our
supported
community.
President Trump only for this to happen to your husband?
I didn't support him. I didn't vote for him, but I like I said, I thought he was going to do the right thing at first. But once I started seeing all this and it happened to me personally, I was like, wow, like, it's crazy how this is really happening.
Yeah, and I'm not going to play the video. That probably would get censored out. But at the end of the day, guys, this is what I mean when I say that, people don't understand. People don't do their research. I don't even know if she really understood what it was going to look like. I mean, it was clear as day what was going to happen when he got into office. But at the same time, when you don't understand how these different things affect you and your life, right? Like, this is when you turn into a situation like this. Now her husband is deported from the entire country. And who knows where he's at this point? Like, we've seen this story countless of times. And this is what I mean by I'm curious as to who and what policies and which situation was she supporting, which made her want President Trump to be into office. Listen, I don't hate Trump. I have no ill will against Trump. I just disagree with a lot of the policies, and that's okay. We have the First Amendment right to disagree with any policies and any ideas of anybody within the country. That's a part of the First Amendment, as long as it's not hate speech. And that's what I mean when I say, like, people don't understand. And similar to like the first video, at the beginning of this video, a lot of people could not vote for the other candidate. A lot of people just could not, because it's within their values, and regardless of what she said, like what the first guy said, regardless of what she said, it didn't matter. Just because she's a woman and just because she's black, like that, those are two super negatives in front of so many people's eyes from this past election. That is it. That's quite literally. If it wasn't for that, I promise you, we would have seen a president in office that was not MAGA. That's just clear as day. And that's why you saw so many people come out in record numbers, college students and minorities, and so many people came out in record numbers voting against the other candidate. And now we are in this situation that we are in right now.